Hello, everybody, and welcome to Turk TV. Today is November the 4th, 2019. This will be my fourth episode of Turk TV, and I decided today to watch all the New York Jets post-game stuff that I couldn't handle yesterday because I was pretty sick to my stomach, and I really just didn't want to see Adam Gase's face or hear his crap. So I had to go back and watch it today. And this quick show will be an analysis of a head coach who looks lost. A head coach who doesn't look like he knows how to do anything about this. And I can speak from a little bit of experience. I've been involved in situations where I wasn't sure what to do. But the reason I wasn't sure what to do is because I couldn't get my players to come to practice. His guys are there. You know, they're pros. They're making a lot of money. So, excuse me, my inability to fix a couple of my teams in the past has been more on the players' effort than mine or my staff's effort. Whether I was traveling long distances and being the first one there and things like that and them not coming. This is a little different. Adam Gase is in the NFL and his players are there. I'm going to go over quickly his post-game conference. What irks me about it and what I see. And I'm going to tell you the first thing I see. No leadership from anywhere in this organization. And this goes from Chris Johnson down. Chris Johnson, the owner, the most accountable person, is nowhere to be found to address this. They're kind of letting Gase take the bullets, and I think in a way deservingly so. But however, when you're the owner of the organization and you've made a bad decision on your hire, you've allowed yourself to be sold a bill of goods by a guy who had not done a good job with his previous team, and a call from Peyton Manning should be anything. Who's Peyton Manning? Peyton, who are you, Peyton? You won once, Peyton. Who are you? All right, you won one. Yeah, you did. Took you a while. You didn't come to the Jets in 98 when you could have when Bill Parcells was here, which you probably would have been very successful. But God forbid you came to a tough coach. No, so you have screwed the Jets more than once. And if I was the owner of the Jets and I knew that, or maybe Chris Johnson doesn't, because he doesn't care about the history of the Jets, because he doesn't pay attention to what he now owns that Woody gave his cute little son for a nice present. This toy of his that he has called the New York Jets has a lot of people who are emotionally invested in this, including me. And the lack of leadership from the top is just exasperating. And it trickles down. It trickles down. And I know I said this before, and I don't know what to say to Joe Douglas, because Joe Douglas was brought into this late. He signed made a bad signing with a retired center. Obviously, that has not worked out. They signed Asemele, and that didn't go so well, especially the whole medical end of it after that, which is another organizational joke of the way they handle things. But what I saw from Adam Gase's press conference, I'm going to review a couple of things he went over. I'm going to start with his constant pointing at the penalties, his constant pointing at the lack of execution, his lack of personal accountability. You know, now I'm not saying that Adam Gase doesn't care. There's not a head coach in the world that coaches this game on any level that doesn't care. Of course he cares. Of course this is driving him nuts. Of course he's aggravated. I can't say that Adam Gase doesn't care. But what I can say is that he's incompetent. Not once, in any stretch until he was prodded, did I hear him say, guys, today's on me. We commit too many penalties because obviously I'm not doing a good enough job in practice preparing these guys. We're not executing because obviously me and my staff are not doing a good enough job in practice working on our execution, nor do we have a game plan in place that seems very specific. And I'm going to point again at something that I've been watching all year, which is the misuse of his best weapon on the team, Le'Veon Bell, who, by the way, went for an MRI today and his knee hurts. And who knows if we're going to see him again the rest of the year. But Adam Gase just doesn't seem to think his shit stinks. He seems to think it's everyone else around him, and, you know, we got to have a good week of practice and this and that. And blah, 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 and penalties. We can't put ourselves in these situations. No shit. Really? You can't put yourself in 1st and 20. Come on, man. One coach to another. Let's not speak the obvious. That's the obvious. We can't put ourselves in penalties. We can't do 1st and 20. We can't. Question that drove me a little nuts was, well, then how come after 2 consecutive weeks of a successful first drive do you guys seem to fall apart, not be able to move the ball again the rest of the game? And then, again, he cites the penalties. No, Coach Gase, I'm going to tell you why, okay? Because your ability to adapt and adjust when the other team adjusts to how you beat them on that first drive is abysmal. Abysmal. The Jets are the worst adjusting team in the league. In the New England game, the second New England game, when New England went zero cover with a lot of blitzing, a lot of man, a lot of tight coverage, they didn't counter with the things that beat that blitz, that beat the cover zero, the man coming free. No adjustment. Is something out on Sam Darnold? Yeah, I guess so. But he is a second-year quarterback. Maybe Gase should call everybody together and create a special hot read for when cover zero is coming and we see everybody coming there. Hot reads are kind of standard. How about kill plays? How about, you come in the huddle and you have your one play, and your second play, your specific kill play, is for a cover zero blitz. In the second half, there was no adjustment to that in that game. None. New England just kept coming. Just kept coming. And kept coming. And they couldn't do anything about it. Now, the offensive line stinks. That's obvious. So a quick passing game has to be in order. Things that counter it have to be in order. And yet I don't see any of it. I watched this game against Miami in utter disbelief of the lack of ability to adjust to a porous defense that has given up more than 40 points twice this year already, who's giving up the most points in the league. Yet you made them look like the Nick Bonacani Dolphins. Yeah. Coach Gase, you listening? Do you hear me? Do you hear me and the whole fan base? Do you feel that fire under your ass? It's called the hot seat. You're on it. You have no support from this fan base. I'm going to be frank with you, Coach. Nobody wanted you here because we saw what you did in Miami, and it's nothing personal, bro. Not personal, bro. Just business. It's just business. And you have not been good for this business. I don't think that the Jets can continue like this for even this season. And I'm really not a big advocate of firing coaches in season. I always feel that you let them finish the job, you let them get through it. You're better for your mistakes. But you have a young potential star quarterback here who needs nurturing, and he needs guidance. You let Josh McCown go, who was his mentor, who was a guy who was helping him and teach him how to deal with things from a player perspective. They don't have that anymore. It's like Trevor Siemian, ever since he got hurt, has disappeared. Like he's gone into the witness protection program. He's nowhere near the field, nowhere near Sam to help talk him through these things. And he might just not be the type of backup guy that can give guidance like that. That just might not be his style. And, I'm sure that they figured that, the quarterback whisperer would be able to help with these things and would be able to accomplish helping Sam through these times, but that's obviously not the case. And Sam looks flustered. And Gase is hurting his development with his lack of ability to put him in the proper direction. His press conference, basically, what I took from his press conference, which I just watched to refresh my mind, was this is everybody's fault, not mine. It's everybody's fault. We're committing penalties. We're not executing. We need a good week of practice. We got to. And then they said, well, do you feel the pressure? Do you feel embarrassment? No, you don't. Shut up, dog. Even a dog agrees. And it's not just about practice. It's not just about that. It's about leading guys and having them believe you. I listened to Jamal Adams post-game, and I've been a little critical of Adams because of the way he reacts to social media. Jamal, if you listen to me, man, you're a young player and you're dynamite, bro. You're really good. Stop crying to social media. Stop looking like the spoiled bitch that's in the dress section that can't find her size. Cut it out. Nobody wants to hear that. But Jamal hey, dog, get out of my face. Even he sounds defeated. And a couple of years I've never heard him sound defeated. I've always heard him keep the upbeat and, we're going to get better and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And I think that this whole potential trade thing, and I don't know what transpired on his talks with him and Joe Douglas, and I agree with Joe Douglas that he had to show his due prudence justice, and he had to do his duty of listening to offers, even if he had no intent on trading Jamal. Because I'll be the first to tell you, if some team was dumb enough to say, hey, I'll give you my next 3 1s, my next 3 2s, and my next 3 3s for Jamal Adams, as good as Jamal is, I would take it. And that's why he has to listen to the offer, just in case it is something like that. It doesn't mean he has to take it. And the fact that he didn't take a first rounder and a third rounder from Dallas for Adams shows what they think about Adams, how highly they regard him. So Jamal, stop being a bitch. Cut it out. Cut it out. Man up, boy. Man up. Can't act like that in this city. Can't do it. Won't have it. Won't accept it. Man up. Put on your big boy pants and go to work. And if you got to deal with it in the offseason, deal with it there. But don't cry to social media no more, dog. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're just making yourself look like a child. And you're way better than that, Jamal. So, in closing, I'm going to state that Adam Gase has to go. He's not a leader. Nobody's following. He sounds exasperated. He sounds defeated. His players look defeated. They look like there's no hope. They look like they don't know how to answer. The Jet team has no identity. What are the New York Jets? Are they a running team with Le'Veon Bell? Obviously not. He doesn't give Le'Veon the ball. Are they a passing team? Obviously not. They don't have an offensive line. Are they a defensive team? Not with no linebackers, they ain't. There is no identity on this team right now. And the first thing a real coach has to do is establish an identity. Say hello to my dog, everyone. My dog's being a pain in the neck. She wants to be part of the broadcast. Everybody has to have a game plan. And they have to know what their identity as a team is. Right, Cleo? Right? They need identity. We need identity. So, Chris Johnson, get him out. This ain't going to help. I'm sure Adam's a nice guy. I see it in his face. He's truly hurting. This is not easy for him. I'm not going to take that away from him and say that he's just some non-caring schmuck. That's not what it is. But he's not a good head coach in the NFL. He's just not. Please subscribe to my channel. Check me out in future broadcasts. I will be doing a Giants versus Cowboys postgame. I may dabble into the Eagles next week because the Jets are making me sick. And I have to follow something else and annoy other people who root for other teams. For now, this is Turk on Turk TV. Directed by Turk, produced by Turk, brought to you by Turk, and hosted by Turk. And if you don't like Turk, then don't watch.